Much as Porsche has become something of a crossover company with a sports car problem, Jaguar Land Rover is well underway to transforming into an SUV maker that sells sports cars and sedans as a side hustle. In 2017, the company's sport utes outsold everything else in the lineup by more than a 4-to-1 margin in America. Most of those SUV sales, not surprisingly, stem from the Land Rover lineup, but even the JLR is pacing to sell more high-riding soft-roaders than anything else, with the arrival of both the compact E-Pace and the all-electric Tesla taunting I-Pace likely coming before New Year's Eve 2018. But it's the Jaguar F Pace that deserves the credit today for the leaping cat's recent sales rise. As the brand's first SUV, it seemed rather heretical to enthusiasts when it launched a little less than 2 years ago. But much like the Cayenne was for Porsche, the F Pace sold like hotcakes to buyers who wanted a fancy crossover from a high-end brand and couldn't give a damn about the company staying true to its storied heritage. Last year, Jaguar sold nearly 19,000 of them in America, amounting to nearly half the big cat's stateside sales. The sales runner-up, the compact sedan, moved just 9,278 units. So like it or not, going forward, this high-waisted two-box shape with its low-profile lights front and rear is likely to be the look most commonly associated with Jaguar. But if this F-Pace's vision of where the future lies goes deeper than the skin, Jaguar's crossover-centric future won't come at the cost of the company's deeply valued vehicle dynamics. The engineering whiz kids of Coventry have pulled out all the stops to deliver a sport ute that acts well, very little like a sport ute, at least from behind the wheel. It might sound weird, but this is a pretty SUV. The design language used on the XF and sedans scales up remarkably well to midsize crossover proportions, giving the F-Pace an alert, hungry look. That's doubly true for the F-Type S, which ditches the bifurcated lower fascia of the lesser trims for a set of hungry maws. It looks, to borrow an overused word that seems awfully on point for a car named after a jungle cat, fierce. In addition to looks, the F-Pace also shares its platform with the Z and XF, and it shows on the road. This crossover, at least, in sporty S trim, drives more like a car than most, darting through traffic and tackling turns with plenty of immediacy and very little body roll. It's clearly aimed at drivers who'd rather be manhandling an F-Type than an F-Pace. The 380 horsepower V6 is more than strong enough for a sporty all-roader. JLR's claimed 0-60 mph time of 5.1 seconds seemed right on target, based on, among other tests, a full throttle blast from a stop sign into the zooming highway traffic of Manhattan's Henry Hudson Parkway. It's a feature this Jag shares with many crossovers, but maybe the F-Pace's otherwise car-like performance made me appreciate it more than usual. Having an H-point that's almost dead even with where your hips lie when you stand makes everything about entering, exiting, loading, and unloading blissfully easy. And that's a man with just 3 decades of wear on his joints saying that. It's not hard to see why the middle-aged and older buyers more likely to be able to afford a new vehicle would be inclined to pick crossovers over sedans. Especially when the ride and handling compromises are as minuscule as with this kitty. Options add up with the sort of velocity as many luxury makes these days. While the majority of F-Pace models start in the mid to high $40,000 range, the sporty S model starts at a hair over $60,000 with destination, and that's hardly as high as it goes, testering up at a bit over $75,000, fully laden with options. That's as much as Jag charges for a starter version of the large, elegant XJ sedan, a car which offers nearly the exact same amount of interior volume when you combine cabin and trunk. The 8-speed automatic, ZF's near-omnipresent unit, isn't as sharp as the best out there in 2018. It's quick to find the tallest gear in the name of fuel economy, but much more reticent to kick back down on cue, leading to some awkward moments of transmission lag, that moment between flooring the gas and gearbox kickdown that can seem like an eternity, when attempting a fast-passing maneuver. I wound up spending much of my time in manual mode, flicking between cogs with the steering wheel's paddles to keep the revs between 1,800 and 3,000 revolutions per minute. Doing so kept the engine closer to its happy place, leading to a far more predictable and enjoyable drive. The interior looks nicer than it feels. Much like the Z and XF, noticing a trend here? There's a surprising amount of hard plastic and less than supple leather scattered around. It's not a deal breaker, but aesthetes who value such touchpoint luxuries above all else would be better suited looking to a Mercedes or an Audi for the same money. A combined fuel economy figure of 20 miles per gallon, with just 23 miles per gallon on the highway, seems awfully thirsty for a car-based crossover in this day and age. Luckily for extreme road trippers, there's also an oil-burning variant, packing a turbodiesel inline-4 that makes nearly as much torque as the F Pace S and gets 33 miles per gallon on the open road,